so they won't say they didn't know. And I got to pull up the whiteboard. I should have done this while we were waiting on y'all, but I've been lazy today. It's Monday, and I'm entitled to be lazy.
I'm like you. I'm just not feeling it.
I'm not feeling it today, and usually I am. I mean, I got up and worked out, and I did everything the way I usually do it, but I just don't feel like it today. White women and the Russians' fault.
Golly, I know.
There we go.
I want to blame it on his.
Hillary's going to run again. She said she's going to run again.
Oh boy.
That woman's evil. I hope somebody else runs against her because she's evil. I like her husband, though. Her husband's funny. 1 minus 4i minus, he wasn't a bad president. He had good Congress. He was a good president.
You have to be married.
I wouldn't be married to her.
No, I'm just saying,
that's why I'm not married. That's a business partnership. That ain't no marriage.
That's why I spent all this time at home.
That's why he was at home when the bomb got there. Or the fake bomb. All right, so what do? First of all, we distribute the what?
The negative.
Distribute the negatives. This is one of those gimmies. You should get this without a problem. 1 minus 4i minus 3 minus 2i plus 7 minus I. What's negative 4 minus 2 minus 1? Negative 7i. 1 minus 3 is negative 2 plus 7 is?
5.
Now, what does the direction say right here? Got to have it in A plus BI. It's going to mark it wrong. Now, I don't mind changing it, but please, people, help me out. I don't want to correct 30 different questions, okay? So follow the directions as much as possible. So that's going to be 5 minus what?
7.
All right, this is the correct answer. If you put this in, it's going to mark it wrong, and then we got to go through the whole thing of you coming to me after class and all that. So try to put the I second. Okay? So we're going to go to our handy-dandy cursor, and we're going to type in 5 minus 7i. And you're welcome for doing the online thing. I think I got y'all to communicate with me. Even though the Pendleton campus still didn't want to communicate, y'all did. And we're through that now, so everybody's happy. I know, I'm a pastor.
I would say I was pretty confused. I went on there last night, and then there was a test. I was like, I'm so confused.
Well, look at it as a gift.
Oh, I am so appreciative.
That's the way you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to sit there and stare at me with this DA look on your face. You're supposed to say, I'm thankful. You're welcome. I think Miss Whiten said that, or Miss Shuttleworth. I know it was one of the two.
I wish Shuttleworth did. Sorry, I'm thankful too. I'm sorry.
Okay, Miss Whiten's thankful also. All right, so here we go. Completing the square. Solve by completing the square. Solution set is a 25-cent word for what? X-intercepts. This one is a gimme. All right, do it. Where'd you get that shaker? Or that bottle?
Offline on the website.
You're supposed to have a gallon jug. I looked that up. It's actually on the internet.
Right.
Why guys carry around gallon jugs. And it's a...
Make it fun.
Huh?
Make it fun.
It's actually going into why they do it. Just let people know that they work out.
Good.
Shut up, Hubert. 10 over 2. squared. What's 10 over 2?
5.
5 squared? Mr. Bays, what are you telling me?
I actually did some homework.
Say it one more time.
I did some homework, man. I might
Tell
pass
you
this
what, it's amazing what we'll do. You can actually excel in life and get promotions, and it really works. It's where you put above somebody else. Called raising the bar. Anti-snowflake, but what?
Equals 29.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 4 plus 25 is 29. You got that. Good job. What's wrong?
No.
Take the square root. I'm not worried about the vertex. Why? It's not asking for the vertex. It's asking for the x-intercept. So x minus 5. Now this one, let's see what the directions say. Take your handy-dandy highlighter right now or put it out to the side. They want what answers? Meaning they want radicals. They want the radical. So leave the radical, leave the 29 in there. Five minus the square root of 29, or plus or minus the square root of 29. We'll see at the end of the test. Well, I can type it in, and we'll see. I'll hit check answer and see what it says. Because these newer tests, they will let you check the answer when you're going through and previewing it. On the older test, they won't let you do that. So 5 plus or minus the square root of 29, and let's see what it says. Okay? Now let's type in 29 plus or minus 29 plus 5. It may have a cow. Make sure it's out of the radical. Okay, it'll take both. Let's take the plus or minus off. I like this. I've never used it before. Check answer, see what it uses. It does not take. You got to put the plus, so you need to make a note. Exact, you need to have that plus or minus in there. So, handy dandy plus or minus symbol. There you go. Next, there's our first bonus question, which y'all should be able to get that.
You get the check answer.
No.
Blame it on the Russians, obviously.
Blame it on the Russians. I need to put white women in there too, but I'll probably offend somebody. You know why I say that, don't you?
To offend us.
Because no, Hillary said that white women do what their husbands tell them to do, and that's why she lost the election.
Her husband called.
Was evil. All right, this one is a little bit more complicated, so you'll probably miss this one or quit. Got to factor out a 2 first. And as soon as you factor out that 2, you get a what? A fraction, so that's where you tell yourself to what?
Give up.
Quit.
There you go. And 2 goes out here. Remember, highlight, whatever you factor out, you have to what? Multiply by the right side length. Now, I'm not going to put the baby steps in this one. I'm just going to go ahead and do it in my head. 9 halves divided by 2 is 9 fourths. 9 fourths squared is?
9/16.
Yeah, last time I checked it was 81. Two times x plus 9 fourths, quantity squared, is equal to, now I'm going to put a 2 over 1 right there. And what happens to the 2 and the 16? gives you 81/8, so I'm going to change this into 8/8 plus 81/8. And that gives us what? 89/8. I haven't even looked. Okay, what do they want? They want the x-intercept, Hubert. That's right, class. All right, finish it.
What in the world?
What?
All those rapper noise. Somebody is like.
This is my gummy worms. Leave me alone. I do an extra mile in the morning so I can eat gummy worms. So leave me alone. Actually, I need the sugar to keep me going in the morning. We don't need the vertex because it's not asking for the vertex. So keep going and solve. Now look, it says using exact answers, radicals, so we'll leave the radical in there. X is equal to positive or negative square root of 89 minus what? Now, this one may get kind of persnickety as far as wanting the answer. I'm going to type it in like I would want it, and I'll let y'all do what y'all want to on this one. I don't know. Hopefully, they'll like it. If not, I don't care. So I'll fix it if there's no sense in writing that as 2. It says use a comma to separate your answers. Okay, so they're going to want it as 2, and I'm not doing that. Positive or negative square root of 89. And then I'm going to put that over, or minus 9. And all of that, and I bet it's not going to do it. Nope, it's not. So I'm going to start over. I'm going to have to hit the fraction symbol. And now type it in. Positive or negative square root of 89 space, or right arrow, space, yeah. No, it's still taking the radical out. Okay, minus 9, arrow down, 4. Now I'm typing that in because I don't want to have to type it in. It takes up too much time of going through the test. But they're going to want square root of 89 minus 9 over 4, comma, negative square root of 89 minus 9 over 4. That's what they're wanting. I don't know if they'll take this one or not. I doubt it. Yeah. Oh, they did. They did, so they will take it.
Yeah, before it wouldn't have done that. It was on, at least on our homework, it would make you actually type in negative square root of 89.
Well, on this one, make a note on this one, it'll take that one. Oh, shoot. Hold on a second. I'm trying to move it where you can see it. There. Anybody got a question on that one? Okay, next one. has a real phone number. Only one equal to 100. Which one is this one? Only one that's real. I'm offended. All right, this is the one where you have to do completing the square and then draw it. So on this one, I would tell you to do everything except for the domain and range and all that. So negative x squared plus 3x plus blank is equal to negative 2 plus blank. So what do we do first? Take out the negative. Who answered that? Was that Mr. Bays again? I just don't understand. I just don't understand what happened. And that is a -1 that we factored out. That's where that one came from. I'll take my handy dandy highlighter. Hopefully y'all get tired of seeing this, but -1 x. Okay, I'll go ahead and do completing the square. What's 3 divided by 2? And 3 half squared is?
Like I said, oopsies.
Okay, what's whoopsie? 9 divided by 4 is not whoopsie. X minus 3 halves, quantity squared, is equal to, all right, I'll do this math for you. -2 minus 9/4. You're welcome. -1, x minus 3 halves, quantity squared, is equal to -8/4 minus 9/4. -1 times x minus 3 halves, quantity squared, is equal to negative what? Okay, at this point, what's your vertex? 3 halves, comma, 17/4. Take them. Remember, unless it's in that, and they may want you to write it. Okay, write the function in the form. There it is. There's that general form I told you to worry about. So f of x, p of x, Doesn't matter, I care less about that. And if you wrote f of x in the answer and it marked it wrong, I would give you credit for it because that's irrelevant. -1 x minus 3 halves quantity squared plus 17 fourths. And you need to highlight this. That's what I was warning you about. That right there is that form that I told you to write it as.
So you actually switch both of them instead of just rough.
Well, yeah, and now you just take the opposite of the horizontal and then drop the. Okay, so you got your vertex, you got your y-intercept right here. There's your y-intercept. So we can go ahead and plot those, but I'm not going to plot them. I'm going to plot them at the end so it won't cover up, so my marks won't cover up the actual graph. All right, so now we're going to finish it. That's going to make x minus 3 halves quantity squared is equal to 17 fourths. And what do? We divided by what? -1 on both sides. And take the square root. That's going to be x minus 3 halves is equal to the square root of 17 over 2. I don't know how you're going to type them in because you're going to have a decimal, so we'll just look at it. I don't think it's going to ask for the x-intercepts. So x is equal to the square root of 17 is what? 4.1. Good. I'm amazed. 4.1 plus 3 over 2. And I'm going to write these down just so I can graph it. I don't know if it needs it or not. 4.1 plus 3 is what? 7.1. And what's half of $7.10? That'd be what? 355? So that's one x-intercept. The other x-intercept is -$4.10. You give somebody $3, you owe them $4.10. You still owe them $1.10, so that's -55. Y'all check me. So I really don't want to type it in, but I'm going to. So handy dandy cursor. Here we're going to have -1 parentheses x minus 3 over 2 close parentheses, shift up.
Oh, you got it.
Whoa. Oh my boy, what is that?
Need to quit. Shift up, squared, and then plus 17 over 4. And the vertex is parentheses 3 divided by 2, comma, 17 divided by 4, close parentheses. And then here it says parabola, and our vertex is 3 halves, which is 1.5. And what's 17 fourths? 4 1/4?
Mm-hmm.
They're positive, right?
-1/2. Be positive, thank you. 1.5. You see the decimal up in the top right-hand corner? 1.5 and 4 point what? Is that it?
Yep.
And
That's
then
cool. I never noticed that.
what?
I said, that's cool. I never noticed it did that before.
Yeah. It's amazing what you learn, isn't it? Okay, what's the y-intercept? They're not going to ask for the, I think they want the y-intercept. Well, let's try the x-intercept. What's the x-intercept? 3.55? I don't know if you're going to be able to do it.
3.55 and -5.55.
Well, let's do negative. I don't think you're going to be able to do it. You're going to have to go with the x-intercept, which is 2.
Say,
We feel good about ourselves.
you know, I don't even think you need to take the rest of the test. You're so smart.
I know. I should just quit. Next. All right, there's another one. They just want the what? The x-intercept, so you can go right through it. You don't have to stop with anything, but just go right through it.
Okay.
Uh-oh, Miss Whiten fell off the earth. Why didn't y'all say something?
I was doing math.
Oh, y'all were paying attention, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to figure out when the numbers weren't matching up. Dash.
What happened, Miss White?
Okay, everything was fine, and then all of a sudden I looked up and it said restarting. Like my whole system was restarting itself, and I don't know.
What did you miss?
I was still on the negative x squared plus 3x plus 2.
Okay, well, I can go back to it. Hold on.
I mean, I finished it, but
Okay, well, let's see.
I can't remember what
There
I
it
asked
is.
for. So.
There it is. So make sure you got all the right answers.
Yep. Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what we going to factor out?
Dang on 2.
Dang old 2. And that's going to give us 2 parentheses x squared minus 5 halves x plus blank is equal to 17 plus 2 times blank. Where'd Mr. Bays go? Oh, Lord, he went and complained. 5 halves divided by 2 is 5 halves times 1 half, which is 5 fourths. 5 fourths squared is
25 over 16.
Y'all notice something about that? The more you do it,
Do it again. Say it slow, please.
the more you do it, well, that is perfect square, but the more you do it, the faster what? You get at it. I guarantee you there's some people that used to do it on paper, now they're doing it where? In their head. It's amazing what practice does. 17 plus 25 over what?
So what if you make it 50? Are you going to end up with a different,
Make what 50?
instead of making it 25/8, making it 50/16? But then you just have to
Did I do it wrong?
No. Oh, you just have to reduce it anyway. Never mind.
Oh, you're talking about reducing it down to, well, you can't reduce 25/16 down.
But if you multiplied it by 2 instead of just making
Oh, 50 over 16. Yeah, you could, the only thing you would do is make the 17 into something over 16 or reduce the answer down afterwards, either one.
Okay.
But you got to get a common denominator here no matter what.
Right.
And 8 is a whole lot easier to multiply by 17 than 16 is. So that's why. But no, you would eventually get the right answer
All right.
unless you leave something off. 2 times x minus 5/4 quantity squared is equal to 17 times 8, dang old 136.
Yeah.
Plus 25 over 8. So 2 times x minus 5/4 quantity squared is equal to 171. Help me out. 161.
Yeah, 16.
Let's go over here. Finish it up. Now I'm going to divide by 2 over 1, which means I'm going to multiply by 1/2, which is going to give me another perfect square. What, 161 over 16? Take the square root of both sides. X minus 5/4 is equal to square root of 161 over 4. And it probably says exact. So we're going to leave it in radicals. So that's going to be x is equal to positive or negative square root of 161 plus 5 all over 4. And hopefully everybody got it.
We'll put it wrong.
I'm sorry, what?
For the 5 first, we'll put it wrong.
I don't. We did that a while ago. It doesn't matter what you do first. At least with the last one, it didn't. And if you did and it marks it wrong, I'll mark it right because the last one, it took it. Remember, I changed it around 3 different answers. And when we dropped the positive or negative, it marked it what? Marked it wrong. So first of all, you start off with a fraction bar, and then positive or negative. Did you go complain?
Yeah.
Okay. 161. Right arrow plus 5 divided by 4. And remember us doing this? We checked answer. Got that right. And then I changed this around. Oh, the things I do for y'all. 5 right there. Check answer. See? The only thing that's going to mark it wrong is what? If you don't put the positive or negative. Anybody got a question on that one?
I do.
What?
When you got square root of 161 over 16,
Mhm.
why did the 8 change to 16? Was it because of 2 in front? Did you
Take
multiply?
the square root of 161, square root of 16. What's the square root of 16?
I mean, when you 8 to 161 over 16.
When you divide by 2, you multiply by
Okay, got it.
1/2.
Got it.
Any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Pendleton, how are we? Thank you for the communication.
Good.
Thank you, Miss Shuttleworth. Miss Whiten, you got a question?
No, I'm good.
She's bored. All right, there's another one. And like I said, if you have to take this thing 5 times, you're eventually going to what? Get better at it.
5 times.
Then you are a special person.
Oh, thank you.
2x squared plus 9x plus blank is equal to, I had a class that our football coach told us all to take, and it was typewriting, keyboarding. Y'all had that, and now it's computers, but it used to be keyboarding. And I had a teacher in there, and she should have retired because we were giving her all kinds of heck. Well, I did something one day, and she said, "Mr. McClure, you're so uncouth." I said, "Thank you very much." I didn't have any idea what it meant. So she was calling me uncouth, and I thought it was a compliment.
Figured it out.
Yeah, I figured it out about 10 years later.
Oh.
Heck, I just found out chest of drawers is not chest of drawers, it's chest of drawers. I found that out about a year ago.
That is special.
Find out stuff like that when you go through life. You find out these words that you don't know. Like CLEMSON doesn't have a P in it. Has a Z in it. Clemson. Here we are, ESPN in Clemson, South Carolina. We don't want to pronounce the P because we'll be dumb racist Southerners if we do that. Anyway, 9/2 x plus blank is equal to 1 plus 2 times blank. So we over-exaggerate the S so we don't get mixed up with all these racist Southerners down here.
Yeah, what a shame.
Clemson. Now, Miss Kiner, you ask questions. Do you have any questions? Are you good?
Yes, sir, I'm okay.
Miss Baker?
I'm good.
Okay.
You're straight good.
Everybody's happy. Except I don't want to teach today, but just in the blahs, I guess. So 9/2 divided by 2 multiplied by 1/2 is 9/4, which is what? 81 over
16.
y'all are. I tell you what.
You'd be surprised. That is actually the first one
I tell you what. Let's get you ready for some kind of award.
Golly.
Because when you do something like that, you're supposed to get an award, right?
Yep.
You know, doing what you're supposed to do.
I can't be stopped now. I'm gonna roll.
Doing something you're supposed to do. So you got x plus 9/4 quantity squared is equal to, okay, I'm going to do this math for you. 1 plus 81/8. Finish it.
Hubert, I think we already did this exact problem.
We have.
It's supposed to change them. Okay, if don't, just look at it as a freebie.
I'll take it one.
Okay, it doesn't, it ain't the same, is it?
Yeah, because the other one was
It is.
squared minus 5x.
Minus 5x.
Yeah, minus 17.
No, it's the same. Plus 9x minus
It's,
1.
yeah.
So it didn't regenerate.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just look at it as a freebie. Y'all want to complain about it?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I'll take it off of Mr. Bays, but everybody else, y'all might benefit from it. 2x plus 9/4.
Well,
I gotta add to the stress.
I didn't even know we did it.
8/8 plus 81/8.
You know what happened, right?
Besides, I'm a terrible teacher. That's why Pendleton hates me.
You know what happened is I'll try to go back to my house this weekend and actually went to the library and worked on homework.
Well, sometimes you have to do that, or you have to wait until everybody goes to bed.
Doing homework is better than listening to a crying baby.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, I've had 2 of them. 89/8. And of course, y'all, we're not going to do it since we've already done it. y'all just refer back to the same one. I'm sorry. Miss Shuttleworth, let me know if it happens again, because it's supposed to be pooling. That's not supposed to happen.
I didn't even know we've already done it today, I'll be honest.
Okay, well, that's because you're on drugs,
Yeah, I
probably.
felt good about myself and she ruined the whole thing.
Okay. Miss Shuttleworth, you ruined his confidence.
You did.
If you take several forms, he's got sunglasses. If you take several forms, how's it counted? He takes the highest grade. No, you're supposed to ask that question at the end of the semester. The only one that's worth anything.
Whoa.
All right, so 15 minutes later. All right, x squared minus, I can't believe I put this easy question on the test. Is this the same one?
No, sir.
Good. It looks like we did 10 before. What's 10 divided by 5?
2.
2 squared. I'm sorry, 10 divided by 2.
Yeah, I was like,
It's
25. 25. I knew something was wrong. Okay, everybody say, I knew that was wrong. Say it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there
I knew
you
it was
go.
wrong.
You're supposed to say it 10 minutes after I finish the problem. And then Bubba on the back
I'll
row is
keep that
supposed
in
to say,
mind.
yeah, man, you don't know what you're doing. You don't even know what freaking day it is. X minus 5 quantity squared is equal to 1. Oh my gosh. This one is so easy. Y'all, I should take this one off the test.
please don't.
So the vertex is 5 comma what? 5 comma, oh, I got to put parentheses. 5 comma negative 1. And they want you to graph it. The y-intercept is what? 24?
Yeah.
So 5 negative 1. And it's open and upward. I ain't going to be able to get 24. So we're going to have to find the x-intercepts. Since it's a whole number, I think we'll be all right. That's why they didn't worry about the 24. So, take my handy dandy marker. And that's going to be x minus 5 is equal to positive or negative 1. X is equal to positive or negative 1 plus 5. And what's 5 plus 1? 6. So type in your x-intercept of 6. And save. And that should be it. So that one's a quickie. That one easy points. Besides these. Yeah.
I'm a loser and should quit.
Yeah, I'll take any of those. Any of those that says you should quit, I'll take those as answers, but it won't. So
Sometimes I really do want to pick those out.
yeah, but I don't want to have to change your score, so just pick the right one. Okay, there's one that's a little bit different. It's already in the form you need to write it in. You don't even have to think on this one to get it started. 4x squared plus x plus blank is equal to 3 plus blank. Factor out of what?
4.
All right, let y'all finish it.
That was really weird.
Where did that come from?
It's like in the ceiling.
That's that fan on the front right. It did it the other day. It did it Thursday.
Caitlin thought that was funny, man. She was just like,
No, she's talking about me.
What's 1/4 multiplied by 1/2?
1/8.
1/8 squared is?
1/64.
That wasn't hard at all. 4 times x plus 1/8 quantity squared is equal to, all right, that 4 will knock that 64 into a what? So that's going to make this 48/16 plus 1 over what? 16. 4 times x plus 1/8 quantity squared is equal to 49 over what? And you're saying to yourself right now, what? Perfect what?
Square.
Perfect squares. That means you're probably on the right track. So, 4 times x plus 1/8 quantity squared is equal to 49/16. I'm not worried about the vertex because they're asking for x-intercepts. So divide by 4 on both sides, which means you're going to multiply by what?
1/32. Wait.
1 over
1/4.
4, so that's going to mess up our daggum perfect squares. Dadgummit. X plus 1/8 quantity squared is equal to 49 over, no it's not.
64.
I was thinking of 48 for some reason. Oh, I was thinking of something else. 16 times 3 is what I was thinking of. Okay. So x plus 1/8, so the square root's going to be x plus 1/8 is equal to positive or negative 7/8. And x is equal to positive or negative 7 minus 1 over 8. And I'm going to go ahead and do that because I don't have any radicals. 7 minus 1 is what? 6. So that's going to be what? 6 over 8, which is 3 over what? And then negative 8 minus divided by 8 is what? I got 3/4 of negative 1. Now I'm going to put the negative 1 first. Why?
Because it's farther left.
Because we read left to right. And I'm not going to change horses in midstream. I've been doing it for 51 years. I might as well keep doing it that way. So negative 1, comma. Not like some of these people, they get into math and they start reading from right to left. And that'll be 3/4. So take your handy dandy fraction bar and go 3 over 4. Let's check it. And we are correct. Next. Overall grade. If you miss a question, ask Hubert. No, send him several emails. That really gets it done. 0. Solved by completing another gimme. I can't believe the gimmes I'm giving y'all on this test. I need to go back to the drawing board. Maybe I should cancel it and redo it.
No.
I'm sorry, I just realized I didn't turn this on.
What? Leave me alone. What's half of 2?
I don't know, Hubert.
Okay, now type in this in your calculator. 1 squared Mr. Bays, you are on top of your game today.
Thank you.
And what do we want, vertex or x-intercepts? X-intercepts. X minus 1 is equal to the square root of 5, and x is equal to 1 plus the square root of 5. And remember, we can write that several different ways. 1 plus or minus the square root of 5. You got to leave us?
Yes, sir.
All right, we can do good on this test. If you don't, then that means you're going to fail the rest of the semester. No pressure, no pressure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 1 plus or minus square root of 5. Try to watch the video today to watch the rest of the test, Mr. Bays. Oh, where he went? Oh, he must have went outside. Exit. Next. Oh, this one's easy. All you got to do, you don't even have to draw it. You just got to pick it.
Either C or D.
I swear. Oh my gosh. Are you using reason?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're using critical thinking, deduction, and reasoning. God. Why did he say that?
Because of the y-intercept.
Because what? Well, the y-intercept.
Because of the negative sign.
Because of the negative and the y-intercept. Yes. This one is positive y-intercept. You're right. I didn't know that. And that's positive. So, by using critical thinking, deduction, and reasoning, we can get 2 done away with. Now, you're going to have to find the horizontal shift because that's the indicator here, the horizontal shift. So you're going to have to find the vertex. Do you need to find the x-intercepts? No. So, negative x squared plus 4x plus blank is equal to 2 plus blank. Negative x squared minus 4x plus blank is equal to 2 plus negative 1 times blank. Half of 4?
2.
2 squared. Negative x minus 2, quantity squared, is equal to, what's 2 minus 4?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. So your vertex is positive 2 and positive 2. So which one is in the first quadrant?
C.
C. So it's not this one. Why did I say first quadrant? Because both of them are what?
Positive.
And when both of them are positive, it's in the first quadrant. And that's the vertex. So the vertex is in the first quadrant. This is one of those I gave you to kind of, be a gimme. 2, close parentheses, and C. Oh, I forgot to look. Oh gosh, we got 35 minutes. We're not going to make it. Okay, I didn't know this one had all this in there. Okay, you don't have to do completing the square. Do you? No, I don't think so. Wait a minute.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
No. Wait a minute.
Well, I mean, it gives us the graph, too.
No. Well, yeah, it gives you the graph. Yeah. I don't think you have to. The coordinates of the vertex are 0 and 7. I picked it, but I picked it because I thought it just asked questions. I don't think you have to do anything. Oh, okay. Range and domain. Yeah, that's why I picked it. All right, so 7, 0, close parentheses. Domain.
All real numbers.
And that's the one you shouldn't what?
Mess up.
You shouldn't mess that up. Like I'm fixing to do. What's the range?
0.
0 to what? Now this is where you have to put in the bracket. 0, infinity. The equation of the axis of symmetry, what is it? Always the x. So what is it? X is equal to what? 7. What's the largest interval? What increasing? Increasing from 7 to what? Parentheses 7, comma, infinity. And therefore, decreasing would be negative infinity to what?
You don't have to use a bracket there.
No, because remember it's not going up or down. So you better just be negative infinity to 7. The only place you use a bracket is on the range.
Okay.
Okay, what is the vertex on a bowl? The minimum. Corresponding minimum value of the function is 0, I guess. I don't know what it's asking. I think the minimum value would be your x. Check answer. Yep. So that's the stuff we've been doing. That's another gimme. That's the stuff we've been doing since the first day. So y'all should get all that right.
Value is the X or is it asking?
The x, what is, I meant the
Y.
the y. Yes, that's the output.
10.
Next, another easy one. Distribute the positive and combine what? Like terms. So negative 3 plus 4i plus 8 plus 7i. What's negative 3 plus 8? 5 plus 11i. Remember, they want it in that term, so put the I last. Watch your signs when you do that. I will be lenient, but please try to follow the directions on these.
I couldn't do that again if you know.
5 plus, what do you mean?
That was very difficult.
Yeah. It probably will make you quit. Okay, let's look at this one. Deduction, reasoning.
Well, it's going down.
It's going down, so that takes out A and B.
Let's see.
We'll have to see, because I don't know. So negative 3, x squared plus 24x plus blank is equal to 46 plus blank. Sorry. Get rid of that before somebody thinks it's a 1. There's a way you can set the little eraser thing on here to be the eraser, but since we ain't never had training on this in 2 years, I still don't know how to do it. Anyway, I'm sorry. X squared minus what? 6 or 8? 8? 3 times 8, yeah. I get them mixed up all the time. 6 and 8 on 24 I get mixed up. Plus blank is equal to 46 plus negative 3 times blank. Half of 8 is 4 squared. Oh my gosh, y'all better check that on the calculator. Negative 3 times x minus 4, quantity squared, is equal to 46 minus 48. So our vertex is 4, 2. First quadrant again. Where is the first quadrant? Y'all ready to quit yet? Okay, now it's done quit working. So we type in our handy dandy what is it? 4, 2 and D. And I know y'all don't need to explode or anything. Just chill out a minute. I've got, what, 2 minutes? Okay, make it better or decrease it? It decreases it. No way, no how. Okay, write that one down. That's shortcut number 2, which is going to be 9 minus 36. What is 9 minus 36? Dang on negative 27?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Did it wrong here.
3 squared minus, plus, because the I squared, that's going to make it plus. So what is 9 plus 36? My bad. 9 plus 45?
30. I don't think that's right either.
Yep, that's right. Next,
That's
we got to hurry because some people's head is going to explode. All right, we got 1 minute, so go ahead and write that one down. I'm going to go ahead and start you off. Multiply by the what? Not the reciprocal, but the conjugate. That'd be 6 plus 3i over 6 plus 3i. It's always the opposite of this. It's always the opposite. And that's going to give you 6 plus 3i, which is quantity squared, which is shortcut number what? Number 1, over, we just did 6 minus 3i. I can't believe that. Well, almost. What's 36 plus 9? So your answer is going to be 36 plus 2 times 18 is what? 36? 36i plus 9i squared over 45. And 9i squared is minus 9, right? So what's 36 minus 9? And that's going to give you 27 plus 36i over 45. And won't 9 go into all of them? So that's 3 plus 4i over 5. Three plus 4i over 5. Now I'm going to write it down for you, or I'm going to, so y'all can check it. So fraction 3 plus 4i over what? 5?
That looks right.
If you
Thank you.
factor out and have 3 times.
The 2's will cancel. Yes, you can do that too. Yes. Make it easier. I didn't even think about it, but yes, thank you. Write that one down. Another complete and square, just write it down. We're not going to do it, but complete it because some of you are going to blow up. 2x squared plus 7x minus 1. Write that one down. I times 9 plus 3i times 9 minus 3i. That's shortcut number 1 with number 3 with an I in front of it. Next. Okay, that's pretty simple. Even though somebody's going to ask it. And toward the end, and that's it. And we got 25 minutes left. So you got plenty of time. Y'all have a good day. So see y'all when?
Wednesday.
Wednesday we'll be starting the rest of chapter 3 and 4. Bye-bye.